All right, guys, welcome back. This is the first episode of the HardBody Chronicle. Please bear with me as I try to figure this out. This is all kind of new to me. We're just kind of playing it by ear, but I'm definitely going to try to be consistent, at least as much as I can with this podcast. And like I said, hoping in the future, might invite some people to come join me and shoot the shit and see what's up with everybody. Yeah, thanks for tuning in again. You may have noticed I shaved my beard. There's a reason for that. We're currently in essentially a self-quarantine situation right now in Washington State. Coronavirus is out there, and I wanted to do my part. And if I go outside, at least wear a mask or something. So with a beard, I can't really do that. And that's why I had to make an executive decision to let go of it. And yeah, it kind of sucks because I do like growing the beard out. It's an interesting look for me. I think it's cool, and some people like it. So yeah, it's kind of bummed that I had to do that. But I mean, it's even if the mask doesn't really protect me, at least if I walk past someone outside or whatever, if I'm getting groceries, I don't want to be the guy to infect someone. So that's kind of my reasoning for that. So I figure at this point, any little bit helps. I'm just trying to be responsible. Same thing with my parents. They're older, so I don't want to infect them either. So just something that I felt like I had to do, and I guess that's the new normal now. That's kind of where we're at. So yeah, that's kind of the first topic that I'm going to get into right now. Essentially everything's quarantined. I'm not supposed to go to work. I did have to stop by for a few things here and there, but essentially, if you don't know already, I work for a college, so we're essentially shut down indefinitely. At least that's what it seems like. A lot of the colleges around here, a lot of the schools have shut down. I think a lot of them just said, hey, we're not going to come back until the end of spring. So it's probably a good call, all things considered. Yeah, but not going to lie, it does suck. It sucks in that, you can't really do your normal day-to-day things. Even just getting groceries right now is kind of weird. Just empty shelves of random stuff that you think wouldn't be sold out, but it is. Toilet paper being the main one. I mean, Corona doesn't give you diarrhea, so I'm not sure why it's the thing to get. I mean, cleaning supplies and whatnot, yeah, it makes sense, but toilet paper is just kind of weird. Well, that's where we're at. So yeah, just seeing empty shelves. Businesses shut down. I mean, you can order takeout food in certain places, but you can't go to a bar. You can't do anything you could do as an adult that was somewhat enjoyable. So that's definitely a change. So really, I just kind of forcing everyone to stay home and watch Netflix, I guess. And even that gets, boring after a day or so, especially if you're somewhat active doing stuff outdoors. It's just kind of weird. I myself have been trying to be responsible. I usually, I'll have people over. I'll have a game night or something. We'll play video games or whatnot. But or just friends come over, hang out. But I've kind of put a hold on that. Just, I probably could call people over and we could hang out, but just trying to be responsible, at least until this thing kind of levels off and dies down. Figure I try to do my part, like I said earlier. So yeah, just not being able to see friends, not gaming like I normally do. Things that I enjoy. It's I can't do anymore. So just being a loner is what I'm relegated to for the time being, which I don't mind. I can stick to myself for the most part, and I'll be all right. But just just like anything, when you don't have the option to do something, you want to do it just because I don't know, because you can't. It's just naturally how things are, I guess. But so yeah, it sucks, and there's also a bit of an issue where some people aren't taking this seriously. I mean, I live in front of a park and I see a bunch of people out there just hanging out, playing catch, um, jogging in pairs. I mean, it's kind of interesting. I know I've seen other footage of people playing basketball, and I've heard people seeing that in person also. So it's like, what the hell, right? Like, the whole point is to not be in contact or close proximity to other people, but here we are, people playing, pickup basketball games and whatnot. I don't know. Um, I think because the coronavirus isn't something that's it's not as scary as something like Ebola, So you don't put the two and two together, to say, hey, this is actually a bad thing. Even if you might survive the coronavirus, the whole point is not to spread it to people who could die from it. So yeah, and surprisingly, Washington State hasn't enacted any kind of lockdown. So right now we're just kind of self quarantining. It's just suggested that everyone stay the fuck home. But like I said, I see a lot of people in the park right in front of where I live, just hanging out, having a good time. And at first I was like that. I figured, you know what, fuck it, right? Like, nothing's gonna happen to me. But when you really think about it, and you see the numbers, you see the data that's out there, you you have to take it seriously. There's people in the medical field that I've talked to, and that's what they say. Like, it's not a joke. Like, fucking stay home. So it took me a little bit of time to kind of accept the severity of the situation, but I mean, it's true. You just stay home, stay away from people. But some people just don't listen. So um, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if um, I don't know if they're going to dictate the lockdown soon. I was thinking if it's going to happen, it's going to happen, this weekend. But um, the governor has not made any kind of indication that he would, which is, I feel, kind of odd. There's been several states now, California, New York, Illinois, and several others that have enacted a lockdown, shelter in place situation. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going to happen here in Washington State. So we'll see. But a lot now. The big thing now is that I got to work from home. So that's been definitely an adjustment. This whole week was just me getting used to that whole concept. Um, I mean, a lot of you may or may not know what I actually do. Just say I'm like an IT manager. So a lot of the work that I do is on site, right? And systems aren't working. Computers are blowing up, the lab's not functioning. Me and my team take care of that stuff. So, excuse me. So, yeah, now a lot of the work that we're doing is just remote support for some of the systems we have in place that allow people to work from home. And that's just kind of weird. I mean, I've never really wanted to work from home. It's never been that appealing to me, just because I do like the face-to-face interaction. I like dealing with the staff and faculty and students, and just trying to problem solve for them. I like that face-to-face. I like helping people. I like knowing that I did something to fix the issue and help that person get on with their day and get on with their work or their studies or whatever. To me, that's pretty satisfying. So now the fact that I no longer have that face-to-face interaction, it's definitely weird. I mean, there's a lot of jobs out there that you could definitely work from home 100% of the time, and whether you're at the office or home, your productivity would probably be the same, and the work that you need to do is easily done with just a computer, whether it's at home or or in an actual office space. So I get that, but at least for me, um, I've never seen my position as something that is entirely work from home. So kind of adjusting to that, and not just me, but my team also having to adjust to that. So it's been interesting. Um, yeah, and at least for me, one of the bigger things is that I like having the separation between work and home, right? So I like going to the office, getting my stuff done, banging that shit out, and then getting the fuck out of there so I can go home, right? So that's now how the two are essentially intermixed, and there's no escape. So to me, that's a big thing because when I go home, I mean that's home. That's where I find my peace. That's kind of my shelter from everything else outside there. That if I don't want to deal with anyone, I go home. But now, for the time being, it's actually my workplace. So um, yeah, it's weird. I mean, even the desk that I have here is just like it's not really meant to work at. It's just kind of just browse the internet, watch TV for a little bit, and then go on do something else. Not necessarily a full blown workstation. So yeah, just kind of adjusting to all that. It's probably going to take me some time, and the thing is, I don't know how long this shutdown is going to be for. Um, we're kind of in this weird limbo for the time being. Things change day to day, which kind of makes us all that much more frustrating because like at least I could. If they say, hey, you know what? Fuck it, we're going to close until spring quarter is over. Then I know, okay, well, this is what I can get done. This is what I can do with my team. These are these projects that I can do. These are projects that I can't do. But the fact that nothing's set in stone makes it extremely frustrating for someone like me who likes to plan, and I need to know, I need to know what's going to happen, step by step, day to day, and all that. So just kind of, it just feels like we're winging it right now. And for me, that I can get by, but it's just extremely frustrating. Um, we'll see how this ends up going. I think, yeah, if we go into a mandated lockdown, that essentially means only essential uh, businesses can function, like grocery stores, gas stations, any kind of medical things, stay operational. But now, like right now, I'm in the middle of a project at work where I have to actually, move some equipment here and there. If we go into a lockdown, like what I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, do I just leave that stuff there and postpone everything until summer? It's hard to say. And so it makes it really frustrating to plan. Like what I tell my team, right? Like just wait, or just not know what's gonna happen from a day to day situation. So we'll see. We'll see how long this goes. It's gonna take some adjustment, at least on my part, to really find that kind of a good rhythm as to like what works. Because the thing about working from home, it's like there's no it feels like there's no breaks. So if I'm set up at work or doing emails or trying to conference with people, it feels like it's one thing after the other after the other. There's no, at least when I go to work, it's like, oh, I got to go here, I got to go there, I have to physically walk somewhere, um, or I can go take a break, get a coffee, come back or whatever, get a snack, and just go about my day. Like I feel like there's these little breaks where you can kind of make things manageable. Whereas work from home, you're constantly there. Like your email's always there. You're not going to be going anywhere. I mean, even going to the restroom, it's like right there. I'm not, it's like it's hard to coordinate kind of like a rest period and work time, and that's been a big deal for me trying to figure that out. So we'll see how it goes. But, um, yeah, one other major thing is that there's essentially no sports. Um, I've always figured as myself as a casual sports fan. Um, but now I'm realizing I actually do keep up a lot with sports, primarily basketball, and then football, and then MMA. So those are kind of my main sports that I actually try to follow and keep up with. And yeah, the fact that there's nothing really going on, NBA was super proactive in suspending the season. So now it's with that going, and then everything else, football's um, is out of season right now. So it's just MMA is kind of the only one that's surprisingly still putting on shows. They recently put on a show, I think about 2 weeks ago, down in Brazil, and it was weird because there was no crowd. So just imagine, the whole fucking UFC production, uh, entrances, everything, announcers, but no one's in the crowd. And it was actually kind of interesting. Um, for example, like all the fights, there was no crowd noise. So it reminded me of Japanese MMA, like Pride or Dream or K1 or whatever, where it's like when when the guys are fighting and working, they're really quiet. They're just kind of letting them work, and letting them do their craft. They're not. There's someone they don't start bullying when there aren't 1,000 punches being thrown. It's just they just let them work, and it's just nice because I mean a lot of the times when I watch MMA, if I watch it after the fact, I'll download it and then I'll just play it, and I'm not I just kind of turn it all the way down because I just have it on in the background, and I just like seeing what they're doing. I don't even hear commentary necessarily, and I actually hate um, when the crowd starts booing, just because the MMA crowd is pretty fucking dumb. Like I'm sorry, but it's just they have no idea as to what the fuck is going on half the time. So when they see someone holding someone against the cage and or even just on the ground, they have no idea. The casual fan has no idea like how hard that actually is to do. I mean, and they'll never know. I mean, because they'll never experience it. They'll never put themselves in that situation or even try the sport. I'm sure if they did, they wouldn't be willing. So yeah, it was just kind of interesting to see the show kind of go on without the crowd. And I actually kind of liked it because you just let the guys just do their work and yeah, just let it play out. No one's urging the ref to like for action or to stand them back up. So it was interesting. I kind of liked it. So I don't know from here on out if they're gonna keep doing events with no crowds. I'd be curious to see. I mean, I'm down for that. That works for me, and it kind of gets it's better than having the people show up. It's better. At least they can put out the product and maybe sell pay-per-views online somehow. So um, yeah, it's I don't know. That was kind of like the last sporting event that I saw take place. I mean, if you watch ESPN or FS1, there's just a bunch of fucking replays of last year's games, or ESPN has a bunch of UFC fights throughout the day. It was interesting. I guess that it probably paid off that they signed that deal together, at least to get access to all the UFC fights they want. And now that's all they're doing. They're just playing them. So, because outside of NFL free agency, nothing's really going on in sports. So, yeah, just weird times. Yeah, I mean, like I was saying earlier, I consider myself just a casual sports fan, but now without any options, really, I really am starting to miss sports, and even just watching sports talk shows and whatnot, or sports radio. It's just weird nowadays. So I don't know. Depending on how long this whole shutdown or this quarantine period lasts, we'll see. Uh, I'm hoping maybe by the end of spring we kind of know what's going on, and hopefully uh, the pandemic is kind of flattened out and we can go back to normal life. But I think right now we're still we haven't peaked yet. Yeah, we'll see. If anything, things might just get worse for a while before they get better. So yeah. And that being said, there's still one MMA event that's supposed to be going on, and that's Khabib versus Tony Ferguson. Um, that seems to be like a day-to-day situation. Dana White says it's going to happen, but there hasn't been a location set. Um, so I don't know. I think that fight's been canceled at least 4 or 5 times. So if this is canceled, uh, it's probably never going to happen, and that really sucked because this is probably the fight that um, a lot of MMA fans have been looking forward to. Ferguson never lost the belt. He was essentially stripped for being injured. And Khabib hasn't fought Ferguson, and Khabib hasn't fought anybody that's as tough as Ferguson. I think. A lot of people ask me who I think is going to win. And it hurts me to say this, but I think Khabib's going to win. I'm a huge fan of Ferguson. If there is a guy who can do it, it might be Ferguson. Um, and there's only one reason I say that, and that is because Ferguson is probably the best scrambler out there in terms of MMA. I feel if they can get to a situation where they reset, um, I'm thinking Ferguson has a reaction time and the scramble ability to get the better end of that situation. Um, and he has those elbows. He can strike, so he's dangerous. But if Khabib just avoids it and just goes for a single or a double, I don't think Ferguson can stop it. Unfortunately, Khabib's technique is just too good. He's not afraid to just dive in and get the double leg if he has to. He'll drag you. He'll push you out of the way of the fence, get a leg or two, and just work his way till he takes you down. Essentially, yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. If Ferguson can somehow get out of those situations or scramble out, kind of create a situation where he can try to escape and reset and try to get the better end of it. That's the only time I think Ferguson could pull it off, because not only does he have to get out, he has to, maybe come out on top with some kind of striking exchange, maybe break away when throw a strike or a kick or something like that to throw off Khabib. But Khabib's trained with such high level guys, and he's so high level himself that I don't. It have to be something super random that he didn't see coming that's gonna hurt him. And Ferguson is probably the guy who could pull that off, but I think Khabib's gonna. Khabib he knows that he's gonna try to do some crazy shit, and he can probably nullify it. So, I mean, ideally, I want to see a bloodbath. That's just me, and Ferguson's the guy to do it. But if Khabib is smart about it, I feel like he'll just nullify everything Ferguson has and just kind of ground and pound him. And if he doesn't put him out, it's probably just, if he doesn't put him out in like first round or two, then it's probably going to go to a decision. I think. I don't like predicting finishes or anything like that, but if you had to ask me, and for the purposes of discussion, then I think it'll probably just go 5 rounds. Ferguson's pretty tough to put out, and yeah, I think stylistically, it's just kind of super solid grappler, no major weaknesses. Standing, striking. I mean, he's not the best striker. He's not like he's not Anderson Silva or even McGregor, but he's good enough to kind of just do some damage, keep you away, and then just his grappling technique is so good that he'll get on you and take you down no matter what. So yeah, like I said, it hurts me to say that because I'm a huge fan of Ferguson. I've loved. I mean, if you watch the pictures of his fights after the fact, his opponents have always been ripped to shreds, blood everywhere. He is the just bleed god of MMA for the time being. So I mean, I'd like to see an upset just because um, I like upsets, but it's going to be a hard fight to win for Ferguson, I think. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, so I think the only other topic I have right now kind of ties back to this whole self quarantine. My gym fucking closed, so pretty bummed out about that. Just because, like I was saying in that first inaugural episode 0 of the HardBody Chronicle, uh, HardBody is both mental and physical, and I'm always prided myself in having always being in somewhat decent shape. There's some times where I've kind of slacked off. Those are situations out of my control. Uh, but for the most part, I've always been fairly committed to being in some kind of standard of decent shape. So um, without the gym, I took this whole week off to try to come up with some routine that I can do. Usually on my off days, I'll go running and I'll do some pull up stuff. But now the thing is, it's really hard to match the intensity of grappling or wrestling. Um, and I'm struggling with myself as to how I can match that at home by myself. So I don't know. The only thing I have right now that I could maybe, and I think it's gonna help. I've got a Bulgarian bag. I'm gonna swing around like a fucking idiot, but um, it's a good core exercise and it's functional for grappling. So hopefully, if I incorporate that into my program, and I think along with some maybe just some solo drills type things that I can do on my own, kind of like yoga stuff and that kind of thing. I could probably maintain a certain level of fitness until this whole thing dies down. But yeah, that's a trip. I just, when you have maybe a long day at work, uh, you don't want to go to the gym, but after you get that session over with, you feel super accomplished because then you feel like nothing can stop, right? Like you went to work, you banged that shit out, and then you fucking exhausted. You still go to the gym, you put in the work. Your body thanks you, your mind thanks you, so it kind of levels you off. And now, not having that option, not having that kind of release, and for me, it's even just a way to express myself. Just not having that be there for me is a big deal. So I think, and it's not just me. I think a lot of us are kind of going through that right now. I think in this modern day era that we have going on, taking care of our bodies is just not a top priority. I mean, it's hard. Just a lot of jobs out there expect you to work, more than 8 hours a day, and you work a 10-hour day, you come home, and you don't really want to work out. I mean, you're fucking exhausted. It makes sense. So you just fucking turn on Netflix and pass the fuck out and do it all over again the next day. Because yeah, there's just you're not given the bandwidth to take care of yourself, and I think that's why there's a lot of illnesses going on. A lot, I feel like that's why we're getting weaker and weaker as a species. So yeah, it's just everyone out there, get creative. Go outside, but wear a mask or something while you're jogging around. I've got a baklava type thing that I'm gonna start wearing when I go jogging, just because I don't want to. Like I said earlier, I don't want to be the guy to give someone the virus and not even know it. I'm going to try to be somewhat responsible when I go for my weekly jogs. So yeah, I think yeah, just not having the gym as a way to take care of myself is a big deal. Well, there's a lot of us out there going through that same thing. Well, it's 24-hour fitness or whatever it is you like doing. That's not uh, work related. It's shitty, and I don't know. I think, like I said, we have to all get creative to stay fit, both mentally and physically. Just because working from home, that's a whole other grind too, like that I'm kind of adjusting to. So these are all new and weird experiences that that I'm learning from, and like anything, the hope is to come out on top at the end of all of it and just grow from it. So we'll see. We'll see how things go. But yeah, so I think that's all I got for this week. So, like I said, I'm constantly improving this thing. Um, I got a shitty video editor that lets me do really basic things, but I think it's good enough for what I need. Yeah, we got the splash screen going and all that. So yeah, just bear with me as I figure this thing out. And like I said, this is a way for me to stay connected with the people, and a way for me to keep people updated on certain things. Right now, I haven't really had a chance to develop any new concepts for my brand, or I haven't had a chance to like test anything out. But as we go along, I'll discuss a few things here and there, as well as just do like the podcast component of this thing. So yeah, just everyone out there, just take care of yourselves, take care of your families, um, be mindful uh, of 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 people out there who are going through situations. These are weird times. Um, I mean, you may or may not know someone that has the coronavirus, so just yeah, just be mindful of your actions. Take care. Try not to spread anything. Stay home if you don't need to go out. Yeah, just try to do your part. So, like I said, I'll talk to you guys next time. So, blessings. Take care.